Sometime in 2016, I was reading a newspaper and I saw one report, and it sent so much of fear and chill in me that I couldn't lift my head up just reading that report. I just kept looking at that newspaper and that clippet of news for the longest time. There was a man holding a gun and announcing jihad. The fear and the chill did not come because of that, but because of his name and who he was. His name was Siddharth Dhar, and he had joined this group who are terrorists, and he was now fighting jihad with them. He had joined them to fight jihad. All I kept asking was, what does it take to brainwash someone to this extent that they will go and join such a violent, regressive terrorist group? And then, after some time, I was having my breakfast, and my flatmate, she was reading the newspaper, and with a lot of anguish and fear so palpable, even more than me, she just looked at me and said, "Did you read this report?" I nodded and I said, "He's a Punjabi." And she disagreed, gestured in a disagreement like this, and she said, "Dhar is a Hindu." Problem is not a Punjabi or a Hindu or who he is exactly. It's how much a certain movement or brainwashing had made home to or gone in the interiors to brainwash somebody who's not even from that religion to join some other religion and fight jihad. I remember our conversations were very limited that day, and we both experienced, and so many more would have experienced, great, the word is just, you feel very damaged emotionally to read something like this. It is the same emotion people from UK felt when they first time heard Jihadi John speak on the video. Everybody recognized from his accent that he was from UK, but who, and then they found the details out. This fight was at its peak during this time, and I remember I just mentioned to this flatmate, I said I want to pick up some book and read about what is going on with this group. this terrorist group. And with atmosphere, she said, no, 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 don't bring any book even to know or find out anything or anything about this terrorist group. No, no, no. She was so scared. You know, there is a movie called Black Crows on Netflix. I can guarantee a lot of people don't want to read it or watch it or know anything what is there in the movie because the amount of fear it sends through and just so much violence, and at some point you don't even know if they're talking any sense or not. And I'm glad I watched the movie Black Crows. So how is someone's mental drive so strong that they just keep fighting and they're influenced people to an extent where a lot of people want to leave their jobs, cushion lives, and go join this terrorist group, and they call it jihad. This is a country which was very well run, and then people started to find food is unaffordable, you can't buy many clothes, there are hardly any jobs, the fare is very high if you wanted to travel, you can't purchase a home, the rents are so high, and there is a rising depth of anger in people who are now, despite being taught to live a good life, are living the good life, doing the most right thing, but are not making money, are not able to afford food, clothing, rent, fare, and increasingly, a great part of the population is experiencing these kind of living conditions. Slowly, the voices are starting to grow bigger and bigger and louder, and the protests in this country have started. Administrator only knows what he knows, and after that doesn't know what to do. He should fight this protest, and he tries to silence people. He or the administration tries to silence the people and the protest. There is a media blackout. Nothing is coming in the news. Nobody is showing anything about the protest and the rising anger and what is happening to protesters. And some months pass, and then the photographs start to do the rounds. These are photographs of hundreds and thousands of men lying as dead bodies. And anybody who's a weapon specialist can see and tell you they've been gassed to death. They were all huddled in one room, gas was put on, and then they were all dead bodies. Not 10 people, not 5 people, 100, 200, 500,000, 10,000 dead bodies. Every day they are removing so many bodies. This is called civil unrest, where the population is protesting and going on protesting about their lives and how pathetic their lives have become. And the administrator, despite doing whatever he knows or she knows, is unable to provide for or look after their people, and now should start killing the protesters. And this is how many dead bodies are showing up on daily basis. America, being the superpower, is flagged off and says we are ready for a war because this is a true crime of humanity. As America brings in ships and planes to attack the country, and other Muslim nations are saying you're right, start bombing, attacking the country or these facilities where these crimes are happening. Russia brings in their ship and takes a side with the country which is doing mass murders. And Russia says if you fire one bomb, we will fire from our side some more bombs. At this point, somebody very big comes on TV and says, if this war starts, this will be a beginning of Third World War. So America does a U-turn and says we will try to talk, have peace talks or talk it out, and does not bomb. And gradually Russia also moves out their ship. This is the time there is a wave of refugees or first set of immigration that starts from this country. People are rushing out. There's no point living in this country anymore when 10,000 dead bodies are showing up every day if you protest. That's how many people they're killing. But not everybody will run. People will fight atrocities. A lot of men make groups and station themselves at different places. And they say, we will not go down without fighting. And the war starts. Willingly, people are traveling from world over to join this fight, to fight the atrocities. At this point, someone will say, whose side is the God on? The administrator who does not know how to administrate like all other administrators, or the people who are fighting the atrocities? You know very well power can move or change hands and could have gone to the hands of people who are fighting atrocities. Problem is, they're not men of honor. While they are busy fighting the atrocities and the government, they're also raping women. They're also raping and molesting children. They are kidnapping and bringing women or even men to their camps to cook for them, clean for them, for all their other needs. So while they say we are fighting atrocities and what the government has done to us and the civil unrest, they themselves are doing the same thing. So nobody is better than the other. Whose side is the God on, the government or the people who are fighting the atrocities? Neither of them. So what happens? They just keep fighting. Just the way the government continues to exist despite what they do, this terrorist group which got created also continues to exist and continues to do whatever they are doing. Who will win? Nobody. Can anybody broker a peace? No. Keep fighting because there are no men of honor.